You know what's interesting about belts? Over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of technological advances. You'd had the old neoprene style belts, which were good for up to 50, 60,000 miles. They held up pretty good. And you could tell when they were wearing, because you could look down there and they'd start breaking apart, little chunks flying out, and you said, hey, time to change the belt, right? Well, now you've got the EPDM construction, and these hold up much longer. We're talking 100,000 miles or 100,000 plus. We've got one right here with 150,000 miles on this belt, and you look, doesn't look that bad. But with 150,000 miles on it, that has got to go. What we're going to do is go with the Micro V Advanced Technology Belt. That's going to work good for this particular application. Now, you look down the Gates product line. If we wanted to go a little bit heavier duty, we could go with this green Fleet Runner belt right here, or for more of a racing application, we could go with the blue. But this one's going to work here. You just have to not destroy my hands.
Oh, you don't trust me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I'm having some issues, though. Just keep it where it's at. All right. It's on.
Good?
Yeah, looking good. All right, cool. Here you go.
We made our way to the back of the truck to start addressing some of those fueling issues that we mentioned a few minutes ago. And the first place we're going to start is these old rubber fuel lines. If you can see this, you can tell that these things are starting to crack and they're old and stiff and braille, and that's not a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the old ones that have been in this truck for over 40 years with some new stuff from the guys at Gates. It's their Barricade line. Now, one of the issues besides this being just an old hose is the fact that it wasn't made in the day of the modern era of fuel we're running today. You know, we've got these aggressive fuels today. We've got the ethanol, the gasohol, biodiesel, E85. All this stuff is really aggressive, and what I'm referring to is it tears down and it breaks down the inside of the fuel line. And then you cause contaminants because those pieces of fuel line get flushed through your entire fuel system, and that results in damage. So it'll clog up your fuel pump, it'll give you a shortage of fuel delivery, which the end result being damage to the engine, which is not a good thing. So if I go ahead and replace it with the Barricade line from Gates, well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. And they've got a set made for carbureted applications as well as a higher pressure set that'll handle all the needs of the guys with high fuel pressure with electronic fuel injection.
Now, here's another thing to think about. Out in California, they've got an organization called the California Air Resources Board, and they set the minimum standards for permeation. And a lot of other states are following suit and doing what California is doing. Permeation is actually the evaporation of hydrocarbon vapors through your fuel line. So think about it like this. You've got 2 feet of your average fuel hose. Over the course of a year, it'll permeate 1 gallon of those hydrocarbon vapors. That same 2 feet of Barricade fuel hose will only permeate 2 tablespoons of hydrocarbon vapors. So you can see it's got the lowest permeation rate in the industry. And that's a good thing, because I don't think most people are sitting around the dinner table thinking about permeation and thinking about the evaporation of hydrocarbon vapors through their fuel lines. But now you don't even really have to think about it at all, right?
And that's a good thing.